TVs are watching it.
So maybe more.
And on an average, there's like 2 to 6 people watching television.
Wow.
So that's actually 8 to 10 crore people watching it.
You're going to break the internet, Shahid, with this, if that happens. But footfalls, we've always talked about कि कितने लोग आपके देखते हैं. So it must really excite you as a filmmaker to come directly there on a platform that is giving these kind of numbers.
Yeah, 100%. See, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, what you want the most is that your content should get watched.
The family, have a good time. Maybe go out for dinner, go to the mall, watch a movie, make a day out of it, and both have their place. So I don't see any, I don't see theatre and OTT, I don't see them kind of colliding into each other. I see them coexisting next to each other as two very, very good options. And as filmmakers, as actors, as content creators, we now have more avenues to choose from. I think the challenge for all of us now is to understand that how this has, the entire ecosystem around us has changed. And we need to adapt and know which content we want to take on which platform or on which screen size, And that I think is why in the 60s, 70s and 80s can recognize that it's time to make that shift as an added option to the fact that you can make movies as well. I think for us younger lot, we better wake up to it,
No, but I'm actually very happy that filmmakers are thinking about this because we've made the shift. The geographical boundaries have dissolved. You all have started watching everything that you want, you're comparing with everything. Imagine as a producer also, you're coming on board. Numbers nahi hai. How comfortable you get on a day or two after that, चलो ठीक है, लोग देख रहे हैं. वो जो पैसा देखने की आदत है producers की, how do you handle that?
In fact, glad you spoke about numbers. To set a context, quantifiably, if I were to put a number that actually number of people that who saw Hum Aapke Kaun in 1994 was around 70 million. And then
70 million.
Let's say 7 crore.
7 crore लोग.
और 2017 में बाहुबली को मेरे ख्याल से 5-5.5 करोड़ लोग ने देखा है. Now, as content creators and makers, if you are, if you are talking about a platform जहाँ पे reach आप कह रहे हैं कि 5-6 करोड़ साथ में लोग देख रहे हैं, तो इससे बड़ी चीज़ for any filmmaker or any storyteller is the biggest high. And when this film started, especially when we were in the offing of the second wave, and all thanks to our tallest partner Gio and Jyoti who backed this, that they want to make an immersive atmospheric action film for a good-looking star, who needs to be seen in a different avatar, and a guy who's known as a director to do such things. It's the biggest high for them to be able to sort of communicate this language the way they want to do it, for the scale that has been put in, and for the wider reach that we are targeting. So I think that sort of satiates everybody's.
It's a win-win for everyone.
It's a win-win for everybody.
This is to the both of you. I mean, I love the selection that's come out of yours in the last 3 years. Yeah. Got a Jersey coming, you got a Kabir Singh audience. It's incredible. It's allowed you to do whatever you want to do as a performer. People have appreciated it. For you, sir, you are the king of large. Let's make everything very, very large. And it's not just explosions. Here also, even the look, the scale is so international. It's slick. It's good looking. And you mentioned that part. He's a good looking boy. He always has been a good looking boy.
And it's called me good looking like that. It's very. I'm loving it. Thank you.
You keep that
very important. The production value, the slickness, everything originates from the story that you want to say. It does not mean कि अगर आप OTT platform पे आ रहे हो तो आप कम budget के बनाओगे या it should not look how a film on a big screen look. Actually, it becomes an added responsibility as a maker that the content you bring on an OTT platform needs to look more international, I would say, because your viewership is more international. Yeah. And the idea is that it needs to have a reason to come onto an OTT platform. See, we are talking about numbers, box office collections. What's very important is that post-COVID content changed. That is a realization that you need to have as a maker, as a creative person. There needs to be a content which now you will make for an OTT platform, and you will put in the same energy, you will put in the same budget, you will put in the same craft. And when you do it for a big screen, you will do exactly the same thing, but you will...
Realization of the action and the treatment So those two things need to go hand in hand in a subject like this. And I really must say that Ali really brought his A game onto this film. We were shooting in very challenging circumstances, and Himanshu right here had to do all the spade work, all the back end work. So really a big round of applause for you, Himanshu. You really made this happen. And I think Ali has a great partner in Himanshu, and they work beautifully together. But just the way he put the whole thing together, it made it very comfortable for me. I think Ali and me have known each other for many, many years. He was actually hadn't debuted as a filmmaker when we kind of worked together. So I've seen him in those days as well. He was waiting to make a movie, and I could see that he has so much ambition and desire and sometimes frustration that, why can't I make a film that I really feel is going to work in today's time? And I feel so proud of him to see how he has come all these years, and now he's married, he has a beautiful family, a beautiful, home, and, he has a little baby now, and all that has happened in the last year and a half. So I feel like we are kind of in and around from the same time. I think I'm just a couple of years kind of senior to him, if I can say so. But so I just feel like we were both in a space where we could collaborate, our energies matched pretty well. I think he's also thinking long term, he's become a man, he's settled, he wants to work a certain way. He doesn't want to compromise on the kind of work that he does. He says, "मैं नहीं करूँगा picture." नहीं, मैं करूँगा ही नहीं, इसका ऐसे सब. So I love that about him, that he doesn't want to compromise. It doesn't matter what kind of film we're making, he wants to give it his best. And he's very alive on the film set, I'm used to doing these films which are very performance oriented. Of course, this is also, but then this has a lot of other things happening as well, right? You can't just put the camera and then expect the actor to act. So, on the first couple of days, I realized I'm not top priority on the set, So he has this guy called Bablu, okay, who is his twin, okay? He is on Steadicam.
Oh,
and we couldn't have done this film without Bablu. If you guys don't know Bablu, go check him out. He's a rager.
And he used to be an action star earlier, action boy.
I realized I'm the second hero of the film. Because Ali was not interested in what I was doing till Bablu got what he was doing right. After Bablu and Ali were happy, they'd look at me and say, "नहीं ठीक है, आप जाओ, आप break लो, आप नाश्ता कर लो." But it was a great experience working with Ali, and this is my first action film, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better to do it with, because I don't think I would have looked this good or been able to do it this well without the kind of experience and understanding that Ali has. And so I'm very fortunate that I got to debut in action, which is a very different genre, very, very different genre. It needs to be, especially when you're on set, the way things happen is very different from most other genres. There's too much happening on an action set, and he made me feel very relaxed and comfortable.
One change I've noticed with you is you become very soft after you become papa also. You also say the same things about the others around you also.
When मैं hard picture promote कर रहा हूँ तो अभी soft walk मत बोलिए.
Okay, one very important thing I wanted to know before I'm going to give it out to the question answers. You being a brilliant dancer, movement comes very naturally to you, and this is to both of you. So does the action look far better because some?
No, that's the context. I think the context is that वो गाना है ना, सीधी कर गल करा, real talk. I'm the real boss. So daddy is a word you use in that context as well. The rest of it, when you see the film, I'm sure you'll understand why the word is there. And bloody तो अभी तो blood तो दिख ही रहा है. But I don't want to talk too much. But जब आप film देखेंगे तो it will be clear why that word is there. But it's also used in terms of like with attitude and style, like in that, like Big Daddy, like in that way.
Is there any song in this movie?
Ali, is there any song in this movie?
Yes, there
Do I
is.
feature in that song, Ali? Do I get to dance in your film?
See, it's a different film than the film that I've done before, because there is song, गाने हैं, लेकिन वो गानों का पिक्चराइजेशन बहुत अलग तरह से किया गया है. जैसे आपने देखा ट्रेलर में, the story is about one night, what happened in that one night in that hotel. So गाने हैं, आप जब फिल्म देखेंगे तो आपको गाने भी मिलेंगे, बहुत सारी कॉमेडी भी मिलेगी, कोकी कॉमेडी मिलेगी, दिल्ली की action milega, so there's a lot in the film that is packed in 2 hours.
And my favorite song in the film is the one on which I am actually doing action and not doing dance. So I thought that was a really cool idea. He said, "Sir, we're making an action film, we're going to be pure, and I'm going to give you a song, but you're going to be doing action on it." So I thought that was super cool.
Yes, next please.
Hi Shahid.
Hi, I'm with you.
Please go ahead with the question here. Yes.
Yeah, hi Shahid, towards your right, this side, Aditi here.
Yes.
Hey, hi Aditi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great as well. The trailer looks absolutely amazing.
See, that's what makes it very enjoyable. कि on one hand ऐसा भी है कि आपको लगता है ये एक्चुअली हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं लगता अरे यार ये सिर्फ फिल्मों में हो रहा है. बट उसका जो एक एड्रेनलिन रश मिलता है, जो एक मज़ा आता है कि अरे यार मज़ा आ गया. आई थिंक इस फिल्म में उन्होंने उसको कंबाइन करने की कोशिश की है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ अ वेरी बिग USP फॉर द वे द एक्शन. दैट्स वाई ज़्यादातर सवाल जो आ रहे हैं वो इसकी स्लिकनेस के बारे में या इसके एक्शन के बारे में ही आ रहे हैं. बिकॉज इट्स आई थिंक अ वेरी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ लुकिंग फिल्म. इट हैज़ अ वेरी फ्रेश काइंड ऑफ विजुअल ग्रामर, सिनेमैटिक ग्रामर. और एक्शन ग्रिटी मुझे भी पर्सनली पसंद है. अगर एक्शन में इमोशन ना हो, अगर एक्शन के अंदर फीलिंग नहीं आए कि कैरेक्टर घुसा हुआ है उस सिचुएशन में, तो मज़ा भी नहीं आता. सो वीव ट्राइड आवर बेस्ट एंड आई थिंक इंडियन फिल्म्स आर गेटिंग बेटर एंड बेटर एंड बेटर. और जो हिंदी फिल्म दे सकती है ना, वो हॉलीवुड फिल्म नहीं दे सकती. शायद हम थोड़ा सा भूल गए कुछ टाइम से, लेकिन वो आएगा. अच्छी फिल्में आएंगी तो वो फीलिंग वापस आएगी. हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं, हमें बाहर जाके चाइनीज़ खाना और ये सब अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन घर आके जो अपना घर का खाना है दाल मखनी जो होती है ना, दाल मखनी होती है, उसका जो मसाला होता है, उसका मसाले का टेस्ट ना वो बाहर कहीं मिलता नहीं है. तो हो सकता है बेहतर फिल्में बनाने का टाइम आ गया है, लेकिन इस फिल्म में वो सब मिलेगा. हिंदुस्तानियत भी मिलेगी, विच इज़ व्हाट आई.
कितने का है?
अच्छा देखो, यहाँ पे जो 3 लोग बैठे हैं, हम दुखी लग रहे हैं या खुश लग रहे हैं? सिंपल बात बताओ. अभी लुकिंग अनहैप्पी कि यार कहाँ फंस गए यार. क्या हम लग रहे हैं खुश? बताओ. हाँ
चलो आगे बढ़ते.
तो जवाब मिल गया तुझे यार.
पैसों की बात नहीं करते, पिक्चर की बात कर लेते हैं. पैसे तो सब कमा रहे हैं. और कोई सवाल?
मैथमेटिक्स में मत घुसो,
हाँ.
खुद समझो.
Yes. This lady over here. Yes. Can we have the mic over here, please?
Excuse me, hi.
Do you have the mic?
Yeah, hi. I have the mic.
Yes, please.
Ali, to your right, I have a question for you. Hi.
Yeah.
This is Kunal from India Forums. Thank you. The trailer looks really good, bloody good, as we say. So my question is very simple. Shahid has, now become like a more so like a genre-breaking actor. He's doing stuff, he's now probably exploring more than ever. So my question to you is that, apart from the fact that you all go, beyond, like way back with each other, have a history, wanted to work with each other, what was it about Bloody Daddy and the script you felt that this is it for him? Because it's a first for him, as we've constantly mentioned, it's his first actioner. So what was this script that you felt that ये इसके लिए ही बना?
See, सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है that even when I made action film with Mr. Salman Khan, I always want to do the character first and then bring the actor in. So, and that is why,
Tall fame, or there is, it's very nice that when your film on the public domain is compared or drawn a parallel to a nice action flick, and they're comparing it. But the whole idea for them to partner, in the creative energies was the relentlessness in the action, which I feel has not been seen lately, and especially when everybody is confined to
violence in it. There is blood, there is gore, there is drugs as a central theme. Automatically does the choice become easier that this needs to come on OTT, because if theatrical is become more of a family viewing medium now.
यार मैंने तो कबीर सिंह की मेरे लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी हिट है, वो अडल्ट फिल्म थी. ये सब ज्ञान जो अभी आप बोल रहे हो, these words that this dark and this and that, सब बोला था लोगों ने कि बहुत लिमिटेड होगा, but it turned out to be the biggest success of my life. So I think we should think fresh, है ना. Let's start from the beginning. Let's all tell ourselves हमें कुछ नहीं पता है. जो हमें पता है वो पहले के लिए रेलेवेंट था. अब नई चीज़ें हो रही हैं. ऑडियंस क्या दिखना चाहती है ये उनसे पूछते हैं ना. हम पहले ही डिसाइड कर लेते हैं. वो सही नहीं है. हम डिसाइड कर लेते हैं कि यार ये फिल्म तो इधर ही आएगी, वो फिल्म तो लेट्स रीलर्न, लेट्स बिकम स्टूडेंट्स अगेन. Let's be open to the fact that we don't know everything, and the things that we grew up kind of thinking can change, which is what Ali started by saying, that cinema is growing, and post-COVID we're in a different phase. So I don't think anything flies anymore. If your product is fantastic and if you've made it correctly, you put it out nicely, it will find its audience. This year I debuted on OTT with Farzi. Trust me, the amount of love I got, जो अली कह रहा था ना कि जो प्यार आपको महसूस होता है, जो आपको सामने से मिलता है, अब तो ऑनलाइन भी पता चलता है आपको. अब तो यूट्यूब पे मैं जितने भी यहाँ पे लोग हैं जो वीडियोस बनाते हैं ना 15 सेकंड वाले, 30 सेकंड रिव्यूज, मैं सब देखता हूँ. ओके, तो देयर इज नो वे दैट यू कैन हाइड. एवरीबडी विल से व्हाट दे वांट टू से अबाउट योर प्रोडक्ट. कई लोग अपना मुंह छुपा के बोलते हैं, कई लोग मुंह दिखा के बोलते हैं बट बोलते सब हैं, है ना? So you cannot run away from that. That is the reality of life. And I feel that a good film is a good film is a good film, a bad film is a bad film is a bad film, an average film is an average film. Everybody steps into a viewing experience with a certain expectation. Either you meet their expectation or you don't, and on certain really fortunate days you exceed their expectation. And that's pretty much what it is, according to me.
That's the final word, man. I love what he says.
Ali also-
We'll just take one question.